Welcome back to Planescape Torment. I'm going back to the Smoldering Corpse. On the last part, I was just in there. And I missed some stuff. You wouldn't have thought it would be possible for there to be more things in there than what I've already done. And yet, just a never-ending cavalcade of dialogue. So much dialogue. Let's talk to Kandrian. Kandrian stands as you approach him. The Tooth Woman wanted you to have these, he says, holding out his hand. Describing her as the Tooth Woman is really strange, but okay. She wanted to express her thanks, even out the balance book, as it were, and be done with the damn things. In the palm of her hand are Ingress's dancing teeth, and he smoothly deposits them in your hand. Enjoy them, Seeker. What the why would I want her teeth? I don't need these. Whatever. I had some other questions.
These in my journal.
Perhaps I have answers for you. Speak and I shall tell you. So... I guess I have to ask who he is. Tell me of the planes. Tell me of the outer planes. The individual planes. And then ask him about the lower planes. We missed all of these. Oh boy. Like the upper planes, the lower planes are divided into lawful, chaotic, and neutral. Each of them varies in terms of horrors and what those horrors do to a traveler's spirit, and all of them are best avoided. Which of them would you like to hear of? Let's start with the neutral planes. The neutral planes, eh? They're vile and barely understandable, and they're more insidious on their own than you could ever imagine. Take Gehenna, for example. 4 volcanoes in stages of dormancy, floating in an infinite void, each of them somehow alive, and each of them wanting your soul by whatever means they can get it. Populated with Yugoloths, the worst of the fiends in my opinion, and you've got the place. The plane of ultimate evil, at least that's what they call it, is the Grey Waste, a place that drains color from your body and spirit, stealing away even your apathy. And it's the site of the worst battleground in the war down there. Don't get me started. Then you've got Carcery on the chaotic side. What do you have left if it steals even your apathy? Like, I don't understand. Does that make any sense? Whatever. What is this about the war? Aye, the blood war. At the name, your blood feels as if it freezes in your veins. Ilborn doesn't seem to notice, wrapped up as he is in his memories. 2 armies of fiends smashing together pointlessly across the lower planes, slaughtering mindlessly in the name of law and chaos. They'll aggrandize it, of course, but in the end, it's about hate and stupid endeavor that aids none and harms far too many. What the hell happened? I assume we were part of this blood war in some manner then. What the hell happened to us? Ugh. Tell me about Carcery. Carcery and its poisonous jungles, acid swamps, destructive waters, strung like a string of rotten pearls nestled within one another. He pauses and looks at you carefully, again fixing you in place with his eyes. Remember this, Seeker. Carcery is a prison, home to the the Garaleths, one of the most dangerous types of fiends there is. The strength of the prison is the strength of the captor, as strong as the prisoner lets it be. Destroy the prison keeper, and a body can escape for the Red Prison. There's almost no other way out, not when the gates close themselves against you, and watch you spin off into the vast space surrounding the orbs. Be wary of Carcery, traveler, for its bonds can be greater than flesh. Alright, back to the lower planes. Lawful. As much as I detest the order of the lawful upper planes, at least they present a modicum of goodness. Their lower planar counterparts, though. Acheron's a place of ricocheting cubes that never see an end to battle, swarming with souls of dead humanoids. Bartor, he shivers involuntarily. Bartor's a place best avoided. Those Bartezu, the fiends in the corner there, are but the merest expression of the deviant corruption embodied in that soulless machine of order. If you want more, talk to them, but remember, all that is bad about bureaucracy and order originates from Bartor, and it spreads like a stain across the hearts of mortals. Though there is some knowledge to be found there, it is rarely worth the spiritual rape the plane inflicts. I think I'm getting the impression that he really doesn't like it. Ricocheting cubes? I don't even understand what that means, whatever. Let's see, rest of the lower planes, the chaotic planes. The Abyss isn't someplace you should consider going. Where Bator's all orderly, the Abyss is full of chaos and change, and none of it's pleasant. When it becomes something that approximates normality, that's when you should be most wary of it. It's home to the Tanari, what most primes call demons, and they've got that name for a reason. They are unpredictable and murderous, and the few you can trust are few and far between. The few I have met who I trust, I still don't trust entirely. They are creatures of chaos and evil incarnate, and if they're putting on a friendly face, who's to say it's not part of a larger agenda? We got the spiel on the Abyss, but there wasn't actually anything about the Nine Hells. But somebody else has mentioned them, so I don't know. I'm not sure where they fit in this, actually. Whatever. Okay. I guess that covers it for the lower planes. So the boundary planes. There are two boundary planes to my mind, and they are diametrically opposed. One of them, Mechanus, is the very essence of law, a place where beliefs fit together, interlocking, turning, in a massive machine that is the entire plane. Some folks have it that the gears of Mechanus are the engine that drives the planes. The other plane is Limbo, a swirling morass of chaos that follows no rules, none. And just when a body thinks he's classified its behavior, it goes and changes on him. Or it doesn't. You just can't tell. I was in Limbo not too long ago. Tell me of your journey. He closes his eyes, remembering. I had a Githzerai guide me with an Anarch who could shape the illogical matter of the plane into forms of his desire. We had fought off the harrying of the Sladi, the chaos creatures who call that plane home. It seemed there were more than usual, but then one can never tell what's usual in Limbo. But I digress. In the midst of all this chaos, we came across a series of huge metal interlocking cubes, like some sort of puzzle box. It wasn't something we had shaped, consciously or not, and we couldn't find a way inside. It was like a bastion of order within the confines of disorder, a seed of law. That is the best I can explain it.
Updated my journal.
The Outlands. The Outlands are absolute neutrality. Probably the best place for a buddy to visit in the Outer Planes outside of Sigil, if you don't want to have a plane's morality forced into your heart. Everything balances out in the Outlands, as it should be, with a plane that sits at the center of the Outer Planes. Powers' realms are scattered about here, and there are handfuls of gate towns that open into the rest of the Outer Planes. The gate towns usually mirror the philosophy of the plane their gate opens onto, and if the balance of belief isn't kept in the town slips into the nearby plane. It's a bad situation for everyone, because the few folks in the towns really want that change. But enough of the Outlands. What more would you know? Oh, because few of the folks want that. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think that means we got the full rundown. The other thing I missed in here were these fellows over here that I just failed to talk to entirely because, I don't know, I had some sort of malfunction. The man before you is old. His dry, yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a two-pronged glaive, made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. I just noticed, like, the music changed. Is this the theme of Dakon? Could be. Hello. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead, flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. You alright? Traveler. Damn, he has a voice acting, cited. He says nothing for a moment, merely searches your face with his eyes. Hail, traveler. His voice is quiet and somber, like a wind whispering through the branches of a great tree. Hail.
Eyes of the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
The man meets your gaze, his eyes burrowing into yours. His weapon drains of its black color, resuming its shimmering you noticed before you spoke to him. You could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as Dakon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. I do not know myself. Then it's for the best In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He falls silent for a moment, still studying you with his coal black eyes. I would know why you have come to this city. I'm looking for answers. I have many questions. Speak your questions. I will hear you. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Githzerai. A Githzerai. A Githzerai is one of the people. One of the people. A Githzerai. Yes, but what are the Githzerai exactly? Dakon is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people as they are now. Dakon is silent for a moment. Know this, and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plane of limbo. With a deft motion, Dakon slips the blade from his black back and holds it before him. They live in limbo? I seem to remember them living on the astral plane and the stuff that I was familiar with. Which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is kind of odd, because that doesn't have any physical dimension, right? Well, I'd hardly consider myself an expert. Wait and see what happens. There we mold the matter of limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. As you watch, a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections in Dakon's voice. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Githzerai. What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It is a Karach blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. Karach? What does that mean? Dakon falls silent for a moment, as if searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. Shape it with their thoughts? Karach is not shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and in its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. What rank does the blade signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthamon. In knowing the words of Zerthamon, they know themselves. Boy, I feel like we're going in circles here. Zerthamon? Zerthamon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. Interesting. Okay, can you tell me about the city? It is known by the name Sigil. Among the people, it is known as the city that does not know itself. It doesn't know itself? What do you mean? The city exists but does not know itself. In not knowing itself, its existence is flawed. How is it flawed? The city exists in opposition to itself. It has set itself apart from the planes, yet it seeks to be everywhere at once. Its walls are doors, yet it keeps those doors locked. Such an existence tells of a thing that does not know itself. In not knowing itself, it is flawed. Oh boy. This is a lot. Alright, let's just get this out of the way. I mean, we sort of understand this already. When you say the city is everywhere at once, its walls are doors, like we got the sense of what that means. We don't need him to explain it. So we have two truth options here. That's weird. What if the city is not flawed, a thing that does not need to be ordered and have a purpose to know itself? What if these contradictions are strengths you cannot see? And then the other one is, what if the city is not flawed and you just do not know the reasons for its contradictions? There is order in everything. Perhaps there is an underlying pattern that you cannot perceive. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I want to pick one of these. It's interesting to, like, push on an NPC like this. What if the city is not flawed? A thing that does not need to be ordered and have a purpose to know itself. What if these contradictions are strengths that you cannot see? To your question, a question. What if the city is flawed, and you see its contradictions all around you? Oh my god. Truth. To your question, a question. You claim the city's existence is flawed. You have accepted this rather than explore the possibility that something greater may exist. That suggests you are flawed, and that you do not search for knowledge, but only for a convenient answer. Dakan falls silent. There is no knowing the answer to the questions we have asked, yet the city still exists. That is all. Oh boy, where are we going with this? Yet I would maintain that we know ourselves by the questions we ask, and the ones we do not. If we cease asking questions and accept only what we can perceive, then we will cease to know ourselves. Dakon's voice has changed slightly, become heavier. Such words have been spoken before. I have heard them, and know them. Where have you heard them? The words are mine! Once I knew them, and knew their meaning. I had forgotten them, until you spoke. Dakon's gaze travels through you, and his blade stops shimmering, bleeding of all color, until it is translucent. There's a moment of silence. Then Dakon looks up at you. I would travel your path with you. I'll consider it. I had some other questions first. Speak your questions, I will hear you. Cool, hey, we found a party member. Oh man, like 12 hours in or whatever. You seem to place a special emphasis on knowing. What do you mean? All things, whether structure of flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself? When a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. Dakon pauses. It is said that what a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. Do you know yourself? Dakon falls silent. His coal black eyes take on the same distance that you noticed when you first spoke. I ask again, do you know yourself? When Dakon speaks again, his voice has changed. His words echo, like a great stone dropped into a chasm. It looks like he is forcing the words from his chest. It is not my will that you know this. Perhaps I was being too kind phrasing it as a question. Tell me. Never mind. I had some other questions. I lost a journal. You know where it might be? The location of such a thing is not known to me. Okay then. Okay. How do I get him to follow me now? I put that off. Do I have to go through that whole dialogue again? I guess I'm just following this through. It's fine. I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant, and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well.
Like my skills.
Let's go.
Endure.
Hooray!
Enduring grow strong.
I got a boy. Yeah, man, it's about time. Ooh. All right. Not the most flattering piece of art that they that's ever been committed to paper here. Oh, he's dual classed. Fighter mage. Huh. Level 3 in both. Kind of a weird stat spread, too. Lawful neutral. Oh, wow. We're gonna get a little thing. Wait, did I check Mort's biography? I'm not sure if I did. I should probably look at that. My past is not known to you. It is not my will that you should know it. Know that I bear the scars of one who has traveled the plains. Know that I have never rested long in any one place. Know that I bear the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place. Know that I am a Githzerai. Know that I am of the people of Zerthamon. It was Zerthamon who knew the Githzerai before we knew ourselves. He knew what had to be done to free us. From his knowing came action. From his knowing, freedom was born. The Githzerai ceased to be slaves and became a people. Know that I follow the unbroken circle of Zerthamon. His words are known to me. His heart is known to me. All that remains is that I know myself. Neat. Okay. So yeah, check this. Of course you got questions all about me. You probably have questions about all sorts of things. Let me boil it down for you. When you've been dead as long as I have, without arms, legs, or anything else, you spend a lot of time thinking, you know? I figure it's been a few hundred years since I got penned in the dead book, but time doesn't really tally up the way I used to. Without that mortality thing pressing down on you, all the days and nights kinda blend together. So you think about this and you think about that, and the most important piece of wisdom I've learned over the past 100 or so years is this. There's a lot more obscene gestures you can make with your eyes and your jaw than most people think. Without even resorting to insults or taunting, you can really light a bonfire onto someone just with the right combination of eye movements and jaw clicking. Try some balmy. If you ever get beheaded and your skin flayed from your skull, I'll show you how it's done. I got some real gems, Chief. They'd drive a David a murder, they would. I know what you're thinking. I'm dead. I've lost so much. I should have sobered me up to all that joy I missed, all those loves I've lost. Some people get all depressed about death. They haven't tried it, of course, but one thing they never seem to realize is how it changes your perspective on things. It really makes you take a second look at life, broaden your horizons. For me, it's pretty much made me realize how many dead chits are in this burg and how few sharp-tongued men like myself there are to go around. You spin the wheel right and your years of spending nights alone are over. Shallow? I'm not shallow. I just don't get caught up in all that philosophy and faith and belief wash that every Burke from Arborea to the Great Waste rattle their jaws about. Who cares? The plains are what they are. You're what you are. And if it changes, fine, but things aren't bad the way they are, and I should know. Go on, ask me some questions about the plains, or the chant, or the people, or the cultures, and when you end up like me, without eyelids, that is, you end up seeing a lot of things, and I can tell you almost everything you need to know. It's like this. We're in this together, Chief. Until this is over, I stick like your leg. Man, he really doesn't shut up, does he? First thing I remember is crawling off a metal slab in some vaulted monstrosity, called the mortuary, and some floating skull asking me a bunch of damned questions. I wonder if this biography actually might change over time. It's possible. You carrying anything interesting? Dakon's Zerth Blade. Chained Blade. 2-9 slashing, +1 to AC. Plus with Dako. On the Githzerai's home plane of Limbo, solid matter is something of a rarity. Limbo itself is a soupy mass of elements, and only through force of will can the Githzerai shape these elements into stable matter. A substance called Karach is a material that can be shaped with the mind. Dakon's blade is composed of this substance. Through mental discipline alone, Dakon maintains the integrity of the blade. He can shape it slightly depending on his skill, adjusting its length, sharpness of the edge. Presumably, as he gains levels, he may be able to manipulate the blade in new ways. It is not known whether all Githzerai Zerth carry such weapons. Certainly a weapon that depends on the integrity of the wielder would be entrusted only to those who had learned to discipline themselves. This blade appears to have special religious significance for Dakon. Dakon has wound a series of parchments around the hilt of the blade. These appear to be mantras dedicated to Zerthamon. Neat. The Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. The small round stone is the Unbroken Circle of Zerthamon. The Unbroken Circle is a Zerth religious text containing teachings of Zerthamon, the founder of the Githzerai people. The circle is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another depending on which branch the reader wishes to follow in the path of teachings. It is said that some Zerths spend years poring over the combinations of the plates, looking for new significance in the teachings. Dakon seems to use the text as a means of focusing his spellcasting abilities, for he pores over the tablet occasionally, memorizing the words. And he's got one of these flasks that we saw earlier. Okay. Neat. So he's a mage, so he should have a spell book, right? He does have a spell book. Level 1, level 2. So, memorized and known. Okay, I guess these are the ones he has prepared. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to go through all this stuff. Reign of Anger? Summons a magic missile, strikes its target for 3 to 6. No saving throw. It gains 1 extra missile every 2 levels. Submerge the Will. Magic orb of protective energy rises, protects the recipient from attacks from all directions. 2 AC against all attacks, and +1 to saving throws for 12 seconds for each level. And he also has a Scripture of Steel. +1 to hit and +1 to saving throws to all creatures that are friendly to the caster. 70 feet radius. 30 seconds. Vilquar's Eye. Targeted creature fails its saving throw at a -1 penalty. We struck with blindness and suffer -4 penalty to its attack rolls, and +4 penalty to the target's AC. Spell increases the target's strength score by a certain number of points, or tenths of points above 18, which will still be qualified by race class restrictions. Spell cannot bestow a strength of 21 or greater. Priest, rogue, warrior, wizard. Rogue, warrior. Is it not... Are the... What's going on with the class names in this system? Can someone explain this to me? So, like, priest, cleric. Which is it? Rogue, thief. I thought it used to be thief, but they're using rogue here. Same thing. I don't remember it ever being warrior. It's always been fighter, right? And then wizard is wizard, but like this guy's like his class type is mage, right?
I hear your words.
Like what does that mean? I'm confused. Is it just inconsistent or like oh, I don't know, man. Whatever. Okay. And anyway, I'm still not done in this bar because we've got O over here. You see a man standing stock still. He isn't moving a muscle. On closer examination, it appears he isn't even breathing, just standing. His eye sockets are empty holes in his face. Contained within their bounds is a flat gray light that seems to dance with possibility. Looking into the sockets, the eerie, empty feeling of a limitless void shivers through you, as if you had gazed into a sliver of eternity. The head slowly swivels toward you. You notice that no muscles appear to move under his skin as he turns, and he speaks in a pure bell-like tone. Well met, wanderer. You have forgotten again, haven't you? Well then, do you know me, stranger? As he opens his mouth, you get the feeling of eternity again. Inside his mouth, you see no tongue, no teeth. It's almost as if this man were a shell surrounding an illimitable expanse. I have spoken with you before, and always you forget. Your endless quest to discover yourself ends always in your amnesia. You draw close to the truth and recoil. Let us hope that you have the strength to endure your existence. What do you know of me? How do you know me? How do you know this? I know that you, like a fly, rise up from the wreckage of your old shell, buzz about for a time, and curl up and die at the window of truth. You bumble about the pain, seeking the light without any plan to your actions, and fall exhausted when you fail. You alight on others to feed from them for a time, and move on with no regard to them. I have watched you come here, and listened to your words, and watched you move away no wiser. Will you learn from your mistakes, Seeker? Who are you? I am O. For some reason, when he speaks his name, it sounds like he's speaking of much more than a single letter, as if the speaking of his name contained untold possibilities and nuances. No human tongue could ever create such a sound. What sort of name is that? It is my name. It is the name of a portion of eternity. I am a letter in the divine alphabet. Understanding me leads to understanding existence. I am written the true names of half of everything. My being encompasses truth. I am mathematic, organic, metaphysic. So what does that mean? The divine alphabet has written the name of everything that exists, from the seed at the heart of the elemental planes to the core of the great beyond. My brothers and sisters, a single word translates into the two in your mind. And I reach across all that is, was, or ever shall be. Can we just say siblings, maybe? I feel like that would probably work. We do have a word for that in English, actually, but you know what, it's fine, whatever. We are thought, and reality, and concept, and the unimaginable. Tell me about the great beyond. You would not understand. No mortal possibly could. It is beyond the powers of comprehension of all but the most powerful of powers, and once they understand, they move beyond the veil of mortal comprehension. I can explain it no more than that. Perhaps sometime you will understand. What are you doing here? Why, I am watching the ebb and flow of mortality. And what do you see? You mortals are like wasps. You build your lives' nests from the slimmest of branches, and when the wind shakes your home life free, you seek to sting the wind to death. Instead of realizing your foolish mistakes, attempting to repair the damage you have caused yourselves, and learning from your experience, you bring harm to any who have the misfortune to blunder near you in your time of pain and distress. My advice to you, and to all mortals, stop acting like an insect, and start acting sentient. Damn, dude, alright, fuck. Just because it's true doesn't mean you gotta say it like that, fuck. I'll think about that. In the meantime, answer some more questions for me. I'm looking for a journal. It's urgent. Do you know where I might find it? I know where you can find it, but it is not my place to reveal such information. Rest assured, you will find it, as well as the man you seek. What do you know of that? I know that your journey takes you far beyond your journal quest, to the very edges of existence. You will struggle for your life and your very spirit. I do not tell you any more regarding this. Great. Love that. Thanks. Tell me of the patrons in this tavern. The patrons of this place are varied, yet all mortal. Like all mortals, their concerns are limited, with the potential of blossoming into actual truth. I can tell you this, though. You may find a companion dear to your heart here. At least as dear as your heart will allow. Cool, thanks. I guess he's talking about Dakon? Because none of these other fuckers in here seemed important. I think I should be insulted, but I'll let that slip. Answer another question, will you? Tell me about yourself. I am O. For some reason, whatever. I already did that. What are you? That's the same thing. I think you're entirely crazed. If that is what you wish to believe, best of luck, traveler. Farewell. Answer some other questions for me, will you? He ignores you. The certainty that he will continue to ignore you for a time settles on your shoulders, and you have no idea where it came from. Okay then, whatever. I didn't think I was getting anything else out of him anyway. Okay, before I move on, am I really sure I'm done in here? I think I am. I think I'm ready to go. Let's go, boys. Fucking roll out. We got the squad together now. Nice. Okay. I don't know. I didn't really have a plan for what I was gonna do after this. Well, I have somebody that can probably fight actually kind of okay. I mean, not great. He's half wizard, which means he probably sucks a little bit, but you know, whatever. It's an improvement. So, I guess I could think about heading back down to the catacombs. I haven't found any more rats up here. It's a bunch of bullshit, actually, gotta be honest. But whatever. I guess before that, let's go take care of this little, thing with the zombies and the whatever. Finally going in here. The Mausoleum. This spectral figure materializes from the gloom of the passageway ahead and quickly moves to block your path. It floats before you, its once human features twisted in a mask of rage. Defilers, leave this place at once! Leave now! Its booming voice echoes down the halls. This place is forbidden to the living. Leave while you still can. I have some questions first. Seek your answers elsewhere. This place is a sanctuary for the dead. I shall not permit their slumber to be disturbed by the intrusion of yet another insolent mortal. Another? Has someone else been here? If you must know, yes. There's another intruder who, even now, continues to violate the sanctity of these hallowed halls. The anger in the spirit's voice fades. He seems somewhat saddened by the admission. The souls of my brothers and sisters cry out for peace. Who is this intruder? He's an evil coward who wields great power over the dead. He seeks something within these halls. What it might be or what his purpose is in seeking it, I cannot say. Why don't you drive this intruder away? I cannot. The coward has sealed himself within the inner chamber of the mausoleum. He has erected powerful wards that bar my entrance into the chamber. It is from there that he calls upon his dark arts to awaken my brethren and bends them to his evil will. Perhaps I may be of some assistance to you? The spirit remains silent for several long moments. You can almost feel the weight of his lifeless gaze upon you. Yes, you might prevail where I have failed. If you will pledge to me... if you pledge to rid me of this blackguard, I shall grant you passage. What say you? I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
So be it. Spirit slowly begins to fade, until only the echoing of its disembodied voice remains. But take heed, tread lightly in these halls lest you join the others in eternal rest. Okay.
Done.
Well, this is kind of looking like it's going to be a whole thing, but of course, this is a side quest that you could take, like, right from the start of the game. So, it can't be that hard, right? Although, I kind of thought this wouldn't necessarily be like a whole thing. It's kind of turning out to be a whole thing, so maybe I'm going to save this one for the next part. I feel like that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. Next time, we're going to clear out this mausoleum and beat up a necromancer. That'll be fun, right? Just good old-fashioned, you know, the good old-fashioned curb stomp. Such as it is. What is he doing? What's going on there? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Next time, I will see you then.